mass shooting at Covenant School in Nashville. Tennessee lawmakers voting to expel 3 Democrats from the state legislature after they protested for stricter gun control on the floor of that chamber, chanting into a bullhorn, "No action, no peace." The Republican Speaker of the House comparing them to January 6 rioters, citing them for disorderly behavior. This morning, supporters at the Capitol welcomed them with cheers and watched in the gallery as the Republican supermajority debated measures to oust them. Since the Covenant shooting, protesters for gun control have gathered at the Capitol a number of times, and they were there once again today, even in the rain. Tennessee has only expelled lawmakers a handful of times, and usually for criminal or sexual misconduct. But this time is very different. ABC's Alex Perez is in Nashville.
I hereby declare Representative Justin Jones of the 57 Representative District expelled.
Tonight, in a rare move, the Tennessee State House deciding if they should expel 3 Democratic lawmakers who violated decorum during this moment. Tensions rising as 2 members were expelled, a third saved. The state representatives
They expelled the blacks and left the white woman. Where has racism went? And they expelled the blacks for speaking up for their constituents, which they was elected to do. So your constituents speak up for their people, defending their people opinion about wanting more gun legislation, right? And they speak up for them and they're expelled. Tell me what part of this is a democracy and what part of this race is not a major factor. Y'all have been waiting too long for these white people to change, to believe that they will ever change. Because you met a couple of white people, you don't mind leaving blacks subordinate to white people. These same people who voted to expel these 2 black brothers from office support the January 6 rioters. Man. I need my black people to wake up. I need you to wake up. Man, understand nothing more important than building strength and unity in your blackness, because they have degraded and devalued your blackness. I need my black people to understand that you are under attack from every angle within America by the government. You are not a citizen of America. Stop thinking that. You are prey for America. This is what you have to understand. You do not have equality. You do not have rights.
He's the voice of the people in my district, and I did what I felt those folks wanted me to do.
Speaker of the House Cameron Sexton on a radio show accusing them of trying to incite an insurrection.
What they did today was equivalent, at least equivalent, maybe worse, depending on how you look at it, of doing an insurrection in the Capitol.
Pearson knocking down that claim.
The thousands of children and adults who marched outside of the People's House are not insurrectionists. My colleagues' walk to the House floor was in a peaceful and civil manner, and it was not an insurrection.
Today, ahead of the expulsion vote, Johnson, Jones, and
Insurrection is to overthrow a government. This was not an attempt to overthrow a government. These are the games these Europeans play. When are y'all tired of playing these games with these Europeans?
Pearson walking defiantly into the state capitol amid chants of "We support the Tennessee Three." And tonight, with hundreds chanting outside the chamber, Jones calling this a political lynching.
This should sound the alarm across the nation that we're entering into very dangerous territory.
He went on to call the House dishonorable. And Alex Perez joins us now from outside the Tennessee Capitol. Alex, what is the White House saying tonight?
Yeah, Lindsay, the White House blasting the proceedings tonight, calling them undemocratic and without...
Biden did not say nothing. Where is Joe Biden? I'm just wondering. Where is this so-called black savior president of y'all's? I'm just wondering. He didn't get up and speak himself after you 96, 97% black people voted to get him in office. This is why I believe if we don't do a primary against Biden and go with somebody else, blacks should not vote on the Democratic level for president. We should not vote for president, period, because we don't have a horse in the race. Focus on local elections, right? Get ready, because these white folks is preparing to slaughter you.
So we are in the middle of Black History Month, and starting tonight and going forward on this show, we want to introduce you to some of the states of our disunion. States where Americans are struggling to exercise their right to vote, to make their way out of poverty, and to live free of government control of their wombs. We will cover the states facing where a white supermajority in the heavily gerrymandered state house voted to create an entirely separate court system and expanded police force within the city of Jackson, the blackest city in America, that would be appointed completely by white state officials. That means that the voters of Jackson, which is 80% black, do not get to elect the judges or prosecutors in this separate district, unlike what happens in every other part of the state. White officials...
White people repeatedly show you they will not be governed by you. They repeatedly show you this. They show you that this system was the means to persecute you. They show you that repeatedly. At some point, you have to wake up and understand that you are not an American citizen to this government. You are something to be preyed on. You are to be exterminated. The judicial system was one of the means that they used in order to do that. They send you through the judicial system by economically bankrupting your community and you as a people. And the few you all who are able to tread water due to having a job or something like that due to these white folks that you feel allows you to be ahead of other black people, you're comfortable with this. You're willing to overlook all of this because you think you're fine. You think you're okay. But they're coming for you. You need to understand that. These white folks are saying, you're the majority in this area and you get to pick the judges, but we're not going to be governed by you. We're keeping our white privilege. We're keeping our superiority even though you're the majority. We're going to treat this like a South Africa. This is apartheid in America. I need you to wake up that you never won no civil rights. This is why your prison rates are so high. This is why you're still fighting against discrimination. This is why you still have pay wage differences between white man and black man, between white woman and black woman. This is why, because you never won no civil rights, because they destroyed the black family and they destroyed your unity with this so-called false integration. You didn't win the civil rights movement. You stopped fighting. You surrendered. That's what really happened.
visited a pilot AP African American Studies class back in October. But months later, it's at the center of controversy right here in Florida after Republican Governor Ron DeSantis says he wants to ban this course in schools.
We believe in teaching kids facts and how to think, but we don't believe they should have an agenda imposed on them. When you try to use Black history to shoehorn in queer theory, you are clearly trying to use that for political purposes.
Now, prominent civil rights attorney Ben Crump says he intends to sue alongside 3 AP high school students. A group gathered in Tallahassee just yesterday of students, parents, and lawmakers expressing their frustration, and many say this ban is personal.
I think it symbolizes the deep hatred that's integrated into this country. That's still
what it symbolizes is the miseducation of the Black people in America that's been going on since the system has been taken over by Europeans. That's what it symbolizes, and it symbolizes the fact that you have to understand why you deal with so much self-hate in your community. It was indoctrinated in them through the school system. If the current book bans doesn't show you that, then I don't know what you're paying attention to. But the hate that you feel within your community towards one another was indoctrinated in you by the school system, by television. The negative images that you have of yourself and of your people were indoctrinated in you. I will not allow you to break that indoctrination. This is what white people is trying to explain to you. We are not going to allow you to use this system in order to break the indoctrination of self-hate that we have imposed upon you. That is what this is about. And at some point, Black people have to wake up and understand that this government is not for you. And have to create something that is for you.